Ahar, and welcome to this fine dandy hangout. This be Matt, the GM, and here we have Matt and Jack, who will be playing in this fine game. Introduce yourselves and your characters. Arr.
Well, let's see now. I'm Vlan, and I'm, how can I say, incredibly fortunate. I'm fortunate in many respects because everything I do turns to gold. It's marvelous. I'm probably the most lucky person on the planet, honestly. And I've never lied to anyone in my life. You can take every word I say as absolute truth.
Jolly good. And Jack.
My name is Corsair Quinn. I've sailed around the whole world, and I have lied. I've lied to the very gods and gotten away with it. I've lied to the very earth that we walk on and gotten away with it. For there's no one so good at lying as Corsair Quinn the Halfling.
Ah, I see. You must be the tallest liar I've seen.
That's right. Tall as they come.
Well, looking at all of your rather pointy implements, allow me not to ever disturb you. Unless, of course, you've got some cash and you fancy playing a game of cards.
Oh, I never turned down a good wager.
Ah, excellent.
And here with you, there is a half-orc named Thok. Thok introduces himself with a sweep of his scimitar. Arr, me name be Thok. I named myself because that's the sound that my weapon makes when I hit someone with it. Thok.
Ah, it's not the sound that someone says after you've hit them.
Well, it might be a little bit of that too.
Oh, okay. I don't want to learn that. Thank you very much. So, Vlan says, pulling out one of his knives, doing a rather twiddly, fancy thing with it, and then holstering it again in one smooth movement. What brings you chaps here?
It's the black spot. We all has it. The captain has summoned us because he's found out how we might get rid of it. It's the cursed black spot, and we must be rid of it, or else we'll be doomed forever.
Aye, and you can't very well rob a whole family of all their riches if you're dying of disease.
Well, I haven't got it.
We all have it. We all have
No,
it.
I haven't got it either. That's why I'm here, to get rid of it.
Get rid of something I don't have.
Exactly.
Yeah. I've always looked like this, thank you.
This is birthmark.
Yes.
How dare you say otherwise?
Yes, absolutely. I'm getting new birthmarks every day.
Very, very good. So basically how this goes with this black spot is every roll we make every scene that there is, we'll have a special roll in every scene. And if all of us will roll that, it'll be a D6. And you'll name a number from 1 to 6. Privately, we will just name those now. And if that number comes up when you roll a d6, then you have terrible misfortune for that scene. And so on a 1 through to 6, Jack, which number would you like to be your misfortunate number? Jack.
Okay,
Oh,
right.
I sent it to you. I thought we were sending it privately.
Oh, that's okay. We can just say it.
Oh, right.
Oh,
okay.
2.5. 2.
2.5. I like that. 7.
Right, so Jack is at 2.
um,
And Matt,
I shall be a 1.
all right, you'll be 1, and Thok will be 3. May as well. 1, 2, and 3. Those are going to be the unfortunate numbers. 4, 5, 6 are going to be fine, totally fine. No one will have an issue. And so Thok sweeps his scimitar again and holds out a map and says, "Arr, the captain be giving me this. This is a map to the cursed island where we will be free of our curse. All we have to do is sail there and pass the test."
Excellent. Test?
Is it a written test? I've never been good with those.
He says, I don't know what it might be. The captain won't even say. He says it's a mystery that we must discover.
Okay. Right. Do we... First of all, I say, chaps, I assume we're all fairly handy in a boat. Do we have a boat that we can all sail, or do we need a whole team of people?
So we have a ship. It's a relatively small ship. It's crewed by about 20 people, all of whom will help us to get there. As far as the actual landing and adventure beyond being on the ship, then they won't be there to help us, as they have to get the ship ready to sail again. So they are there to sail, and we are there to explore the island and pass whatever tests we might find.
Where lies the island from here, this port? I assume we're at a port.
Indeed.
Okay.
The island be northeast from here.
Okay,
It'd be some days' travel, I'm afraid.
Okay. I stick my finger in my mouth, hold it up into the air, and feel for which direction the breeze is going, and how strong it is, and think, and estimate whether he is correct or she.
Sure. I guess that would be a survival check.
Yeah.
So what we do in Roll20, so you would just, in the text box on the right-hand side down the bottom, you would just type /roll and then D20, and then just put plus whatever your survival modifier is. So I'll give you an example.
Okay. Yeah, one moment.
So
I'm almost there. Oh, what an awesome survival roll. Did I say I was lucky? We'll find out.
Cool, 14. That's pretty good. Yeah. So you test the wind and taste the sea air, and indeed, he seems to be pointing us in the right direction.
That's okay. That's fine. I'm just having a feel of the breeze, and I say, well, that feels like a southwesterly, so that'll be straight on the beam. We should be there in a couple of days, assuming it's let's see now, 80 nautical miles.
Something
do that
like
in 2
that.
days. Yeah, that'll do. We'll do that at a fairly easy pace in 2 days. And I assume because it's a working ship, we'll be working on it.
Indeed.
Yeah.
You can take whatever job you would like on the ship, as we've
really.
It's only us that's been cursed by the black spot, so everyone's kind of, a little bit lenient on what we do.
Bagsy being cook.
Excellent. We need a good, solid cook. The last one, it was not such a good sight.
I think I can work the ropes and the sails.
Excellent. That'd be a very important job. And Thok will help the rowers when we get in by keeping the beat and assisting with the rowing. All right. Looks like we've had a dropout, but shouldn't be too long to get that back, hopefully. We wait just a moment while that happens. Cool. Get all of my stats ready to go here. And I reckon we will do... So you're going to handle the sails. So let's see. You are playing Corsair
and the
Quinn.
ropes.
And the ropes,
Would that
yeah.
be like acrobatics or?
So if you're going up and down, yeah, you can definitely use acrobatics for that. And if you're sort of on the deck or reeling things in, then that would be an athletics check. So it's up to you which one you want to use here. Welcome
do
back.
Yeah, I just switched
Acrobatics
myself
one.
off.
It's fine. It's all good.
Okay, so yeah, Vlan is decided to go down into the galley because it's got two major advantages. One, it's dry. Two, it's warm. And three, it's not on deck. And
Fair
four,
enough.
He's near the food.
All right. Well, Jack has rolled to man the sails, and he's sort of up and down the sails and rigging, and he's made an excellent check there, and he does an excellent job on that with that. Now, there's not really a crafting skill. I'm just gonna have a look here what we can use.
I can do real mean boiled potatoes.
That's all right. It's okay.
And I can also I can do ship's biscuits. No problem.
Excellent. Cool. Sounds good. All right. So you man your stations. Everything seems to go very well. You have a slight storm on the first night, but easily managed to ride it out. And it is the second day. The final sort of throes of the storm tosses about a little bit. And then everything clears up for the second night, and on the dawn of the third day, the lookout shouts from above from the nest and says, "Land ahoy! There she blows."
Okay, I'm kind of hoping that the guy who's navigating us knows what he's doing. So let's hope it's the right land ahoy.
Indeed.
And I assume we'll be mooring somewhere off the coastline and taking one of the dinghies in on the rowboats.
That's right. It's too dangerous to sail any further. There's a mean coral that'll blast the ship to pieces.
Okay. All right. I shall rig up the boat, the little dinghy, and we'll get it lowered over the side, and hopefully it's not the swell isn't too unpleasant, because it may take us some time to get down there. But if there's three of us?
There are three of you in the boat. Yes.
Okay, well that shouldn't be too bad. All right, we'll take it in. We'll take the boat in until I can. I assume it's daytime that we arrive.
Yes, yeah, it's dawn.
Okay.
Where just as the day is dawning, we spot the land ahoy. Obviously, if you wanted to wake up a little bit later, you can. Just tell me what time, and we'll make it that time.
Okay, well, assuming this is this spring?
Yeah, the weather's pretty good.
Okay, so if it's spring, it'll be sort of, I'd say about probably 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
We'll I don't know, if we're a good quarter of a mile out, it'll take us half an hour to row in, and as we row, as we row in, we'll wait until the boat grounds, jump out, and on a decent wave, we'll drag the boat. We'll let the wave carry the boat up the beach a bit, because these things are notoriously heavy.
Okay,
and,
so you land yourselves quite safely in the little dinghy, in the little boat, and you start rowing. And it's about 10 minutes, so you're about a third of the way towards the shore. And you all of a sudden, actually, I would like you both to please make me perception checks as you're rowing this little raft.
Okay, right, 1, 2.
Dinghy. And obviously Thock will do that too. And he
Fail.
has perception.
I don't think either of us got very good rolls.
Oh dear.
See? What sea? Where's the sea gone?
Oh no!
Oh no! I've lost
So-
both my oars.
Okay, so you don't see it till right at the last minute. But they're right at the last minute as they close in on the little boat. Fins breach the surface, and you see a pair of sharks, and they're being ridden by these strange little green creatures with massive mouths, and one has a horn and blows the horn, and gestures to the other one who has a crown and a trident, and gestures over and says, "Behold, King of the Seas, Sir, Lord, His Majesty, Sablaka."
Oh, thank God you speak common. You have the pleasure of my presence. I'm Vlan, and I am probably the most pleasant person you'll ever meet in your entire life. How can I help you?
I'm Corsair
I give it
Quinn,
a win.
and I'm not.
And you're not.
Don't mind him. How can we help you?
Says,
And I'll
"You
give it a winning
trespass on the
smile.
waters of the King, Sablaka."
Oh, is there a tithe that we owe you then?
Says, "Oh, it's only a small one. Only
All
all
right.
your worthly possessions."
How about? I've got something to offer you. How about we have a wager? We make a bet, a gamble, if you will, and if we win, we get to go through, and if you win, well, we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
He says, "Oh, well, we'll be taking all your earthly possessions. That's all. So just before we make this check, let's all roll a d6 and see if our black spot is going to come into play here." So,
I'm a
Doc is
winner!
okay. You're okay.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Jack, you're
One
okay.
way. Woo!
Okay, so we're all okay. The black spot isn't coming into play this scene, so we can all. So you were speaking there, and so Jack. So make me a persuasion check to see if these guys will actually take this wager that you are proposing.
Let me see. Can I roll deception? Because I fully plan to cheat them? No, persuasion, yeah.
Well, persuasion to get them to take the bet, and then once you are there, oh dear. So they say, "No, we'll be taking all your earthly possessions. You're trespassing on."
Well,
Even me toy soldiers?
Can I pick you up on a little point?
Sure.
You said everything that we find of value. Yeah.
He says, "All your earthly possessions."
Oh. Oh, right. Sorry, I thought you said anything that we found of value. You've changed the rules then. Okay.
I got all me possessions from, I'm a cleric. I got all me possessions from God. I wouldn't call it earthly.
You're a cleric. Oh, how handy. Why are we doing this if you're a cleric?
You. I'm not a cleric.
I'm not a
falling
cleric.
for it.
Oh,
He
right.
says, this green big mouthed character sort of says, "Oh, you worship the sea god then?"
That's right. Worship the sea god all my life.
So make it
sea god.
So make a deception check for
Yeah.
that,
I worship his god.
and you can make a deception check too, as this is.
I don't think I've actually told the truth once yet.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Here we go. All right,
Very good.
Hang on a minute. Here we go. I'm just going to refer back to my character. Where are you? Are we there? Yes. Here we go. Oh, yes. I'm really slick at this, I tell you.
That's okay. I think Thock will catch on too, so he's gonna. Wow! Holy jeez!
You accidentally recite a verse from the sea god's Bible.
Yeah. Oh, would that be this sea god?
Indeed. I mean, he's just called his king. So yes, it's clearly that sea god. Now let me see what Thock's deception is. So he gets a +3, d20 +3. No, they're pretty good. So all of us have rolled pretty well. These creatures are going to see if they. Let's just pull up their stats here. It'll be the announcer that will be trying to figure out if we get this. So it's got a +1 to his roll. Unlikely that he's going to be able to. 17. So he looks at the two of you and he says, "Oh, I won't be touching any of your goods if you worship the sea god. But you," and he points at Thock, "you'll hand over everything you own because you're be lying, and I can tell it." And Thock looks at you two and he's like, "Oh, sorry."
Oh, you see, Thock here. He's not that smart. After all, he is a half-orc, and he's me slave. He's me slave, known for lying.
I back away slowly down the other end of the boat and just like
Okay, here you go.
Kind of like making some space here. And I'm going to say, well, hey, first of all, what I'd like to know is how far we're about 2/3 of the way there, or 1/3 of the way there.
1/3 of the way there. Yeah, we've got about 20 minutes left.
Look, all of our earthly possessions would mean that we would naturally be handing them to you, whether we should be handing them directly to the god.
Well, so what he's decided, because you and Jack, or you and the Corsair because Quinn. Corsair Quinn, both of you have passed your deception check, so he's not going to take any of your goods. He's only looking to take Thock's goods. Because both of you passed and Thock didn't. Because he rolled a 17 and Thock rolled 15.
The problem is, you see, Val... Vlan doesn't give a monkey's about. He really couldn't give a
Exactly.
monkey's-
We're every man for himself.
but he's also thinking that his life expectancy on the island would be significantly improved by the inclusion of this guy. So
Right. And
the thinking is, look, we'll vouch for him. So we'll vouch for him. He's a good half orc, I think.
so
So all we need is for a few moments for us to gather our bits and pieces for the treasure that we have on the island, and okay. Sorry.
So I need a persuasion check from Vlan, and I need another deception check from Corsair Quinn. And Corsair Quinn, because Thok is wearing quite good quality, colorful robes, you'll have a -2 on your deception check because he does not look like a slave at all.
That would be
A 4. All right.
no. A 6 because I get +2 on deception, so it balances out.
Excellent.
So plus so instead of +8, I've got +4. Okay, fine. Let's see if that works.
Wow, you are rolling great balls. Yeah, he says, "Oh, Thok be friend of the gods."
Oh yes. Oh, we got some treasure. We need to go and collect it. And we can give it to you on the way back.
All right, we like that idea. More treasure, more treasure. And he looks at the king, and the king waves his hand, and they reel back off into the surf. The two sharks dive into the water, and the strange little creatures disappear into the surf.
And I pull out the little chain. You see my lucky charm.
Aye, that must have helped us out quite a bit. You know.
Oh yes.
It's a sensitive subject, so don't tell anyone, Vlan. But I've secretly always wanted to be the Sea King.
You might have your chance if we can defeat those things when we come back.
Are you telling me? You're telling me you've sought to be the Sea King?
I don't know. I know it sounds strange.
It does.
But being the king of the sea, and also the king of the land, and also the king of the air, has always seemed desirable to me.
Quite a lot to manage.
It does seem quite the task.
And the only problem with being god of everything is people start complaining at you.
Yes, I'm not sure that's be the best idea. Maybe just pick one.
Yes, I think pick none of them and just live a nice, peaceful, happy life, surrounded by lots and lots of nubile elflings.
Well, you know what they say, every man to themselves. Now let's get rowing.
Yes, quite. Okay, we'll swiftly make our ways to the shore, and as sort of grinning wildly and manically at the close shave with death we had.
Yes. So you make your way to the shore, and you do ride one of those nice big waves and manage to beach the boats quite safely on the sandy shore. And you look around, and Thok produces the map and says, "All right, well, here be the dotted line, and here be the X, and X always marks the spot."
That's fortunate. Now, the question is, which way's north? I'll look at the map.
Right, and if you can see on Roll20, the ice up to the top of the map is to the north, and where we've landed, I will just ping. I will ping where we've landed. We've landed in this bay, just over here. This little bay. And so there's like a mountain ranges, both almost directly to our north here, and then plains. And basically, what I'll do is I'll the first part, the leg of the journey. So we're here, and the dotted line comes along here this way and meets up with this stream or river, and then follows the river up towards the mountains.
Looking at the scale of this thing, how far is that?
It's probably going to take us about 3 to 4 hours to get to that river, and probably 1 hour to travel along the river to the mountains.
Okay. Right. Packing up my stuff, making sure I've got some. I assume we've got some food from the ship, just in case.
Absolutely, yeah. We're all stocked up. You don't need to worry about anything like that. We've got enough food to last us about 4 days before we have to go hunting. But we do have to refill our water every day. So our water skins only hold enough for a full day's drinking, and then at the end of the day or at the start of the next day, you'll have to refill it.
Okay. Looking at these planes,
question.
I mean, yeah.
Does one have to be literate to read the map?
No, there is no words on the map.
Okay, good.
Okay, cool. Right. We'll easily get to that river before we need to refill our water.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. It's only the start of the day. You get to the approximately, if everything goes well, you get to the river about midday.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. We don't really want we don't really want to be overt in our traveling. We need to keep our eyes and ears open. We want as least trouble as possible, don't you think?
I think that'd be a wise plan. We never know what there might be around here.
Excellent.
It's called the Island of the Cursed for probably a good reason.
Well, I will scout ahead about 100 meters, 100 yards in front of you, and if I have any problems, I'll come back immediately back, probably yelling something along the lines of "We're about to die." Okay. Since I fear I'm the most fleet of foot here, and the best at looking ahead, I shall take advantage of my skills.
All right, that's a good plan. All right, then we'll trail you, and we'll keep to the safe paths.
Okay. Whilst travelling, I shall have my bow. I shall string my bow to make sure it's ready to fire.
Absolutely.
But I shall keep my other bits and pieces holstered.
Yeah. It's all relatively accessible in 5th edition.
Okay.
So,
cool.
Sure. So yeah, you can scout up ahead. So make me both a stealth check. So the stealth check will be first, and then a perception check to view the area second, please.
All right, stealth +7. Cool. Where are we? So stealth is.
Wow. Jeez.
I don't think that's right.
No, I think so. So it's you put D20, not 20. Yeah. D20.
Yeah, that is right. That's still not bad.
That's pretty good. All right, so your stealth roll is good, and I just need that perception roll, please.
Okay, it's a perception of 8, so that's.
I could probably just as easily have done some.
Yeah, there you go. That's not bad.
Very good. Yeah, so you can definitely be well aware of what's going on. So we travel this way for the best part of 3 hours. We're in our fourth hour,
cool.
and you can sort of see the reflection of light coming off the river ahead of you, because this is a relatively flat plain, and as you are ahead and you're sort of climbing through the rocks and the few rocks that are around here, you hear the baying of some kind of wolf-like creature, a howl, a woo, coming off in the distance, and then you hear the sound of yapping to and fro, and so you feel and you think that there might be multiple of these things, but it's unclear exactly how many.
Okay, I am going to take a quick scan around to see if there are any mammals, anything that a bunch of wolves would naturally feed upon,
Right.
that I could shoot down and distract the wolves with its carcass.
Excellent. So make me a survival check then. And what is Corsair Quinn doing while this survival check is happening?
So I'm not there, so I can't help him to give him advantage. But I think
he's probably gestured to us as well to like stay down as he's heard this. In addition to his little.
I would have thought everyone would have heard that, or maybe that's my assumption, being an elf, assuming that everyone's heard it because it's incredibly loud. And I'm kind of point into the distance.
Well, the howl we will all hear, but the fighting to and fro or the baying to and fro, only you will hear. So you will hear that there's multiple. We hear that there's at least one.
All right. In that case, if I hear that there's like a wolf, I'm gonna take one of my javelins out to be prepared to throw it if a wolf comes near.
Beautiful.
Okay. I silently I raise my fist in the air, and then I put three fingers in the air, a wild stab that there'll be 3 of these creatures.
Okay. Actually, being that you rolled so well, you think there's gonna be 4.
Okay, I put up 4 fingers, and I also point in an approximate direction.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that survival check was 13, was it?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm looking for something to shoot to. Yeah, something to shoot to make sure that to distract at least 1 or perhaps even 2 of the wolves, because the wolves are scavengers. They won't necessarily want to put themselves at danger.
Correct.
If there's free food wandering about. That's my theory, anyway.
So you do find a coney, a rabbit, or a warren of them. So you can start working away at that. But sort of you spot that and you get yourself ready. But then you hear something else. Again, so the way that I'm sort of framing this is that you've heard that howl, you've heard the barking to and fro. They're getting closer, and I'm still going to keep you with that same check, and you hear "get down," but it comes in a scowling, almost non-humanoid, like half common, half not. But you sort of understand the word "down" coming from the same direction as the howling was coming from.
Okay, and immediately realizing that these creatures are led by an intelligent, sentient creature, I wave horizontally with my hand, and then immediately take to the bushes to hide.
Excellent. All right, and so you've already made. So you're not going to try and get that rabbit. Instead, you'll hide. Right.
No, because it wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
this point.
At this point, knowing that there's going to be another person or some sort of intelligent life there as well. Okay, so make me that stealth roll, and Corsair Quinn and Thok, seeing that he's waving his hand and getting us to maybe hide away. Did you want to do that as well, or wow?
They call me Mr. Lucky.
Can I hide in a tree?
Sure.
Just in case I need to snipe a mofo.
Yep. Absolutely.
All right. Let me see what my stealth is looking like. Okay, that's not bad. It's not bad at all.
I have literally made like a bush, and
Yep.
so have you. We've both made like bushes.
Indeed.
So basically our short who's our compatriot called again? Is it a half orc?
Thok is his name.
Yeah, Thok. Yeah, Thok's gonna stick out like a Thok, no doubt.
He probably will, yes. Instead of hiding, Thok instead will cast a spell. And he is going to cast haste. So let's just bring that up here. And how this looks, he starts to bang on his drum.
Oh God.
Oh well, he's at least they won't notice us.
Let me just double check that I'm doing the right thing here.
Let them kill you. Distract them.
No, he's not going to cast haste. Sorry, it was the other character that had haste. Instead, he is going to cast enemies abound when he sees them. So he's going to cast enemies abound, and what that does, so he's going to target one of the humanoid creatures that appears. So they sort of come around some brush and boulders and trees. They sort of come around, and as soon as he sees them, he bangs on his drum and he sort of points out his scimitar, and then he points at one of the leaders so there are 4 wargs and 2 hobgoblins that are riding those wargs. And so he points at one of the hobgoblins and he's casting enemies abound. And so the hobgoblin needs to make an intelligence saving throw. Probably not so easy for a hobgoblin. He gets a +1, this particular hobgoblin, because he's a captain. So let me jump over here and roll that 20 + 1. Okay. So what happens is all of a sudden, the way that this spell goes, all of a sudden this hobgoblin is unable to distinguish friend from foe, and he regards all creatures that he can see as enemies, including his friends and the warg that he's riding. And so this hobgoblin suddenly just has this change of heart, and he sort of brings up, so what weapon is he using? So he brings up his greatsword, pulls off his greatsword, and he tries to stab it down into the head of the warg that he's riding, because somehow it's become his enemy. And so...
what are you doing between my legs?
But at the same moment, so Thok has obviously become visible. So everyone's going to be rolling initiative at this point. And it's the moment, so the hobgoblin is at this point, holding the sword up. So who knows who's going to go first? We don't know, but he's at that stage when we roll initiative. So,
let's see now.
And you guys are hidden. Both of you are not seen and not heard. So both of you will have some advantages there.
Okay, so I've got an initiative of 4. So it's a D20, isn't it?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I am right. Okay, cool. That's it. See if I can get to the right thing.
Okay.
Where are we? There we are. +4. And you can add whatever bonuses you wish to. Oh no, that's not right. That's not right.
That's okay.
No, it's not right because I should have put a D in front of it. There's no way I'm that lucky.
So Jack got a 13. Also Quinn. And Matt, you got 14.
14.
And
Plus
so my first roll will be for Thok. Though he's just effectively gone, so we will still roll initiative though, because it's a thing. He gets +3 to his roll. Roll d20 +3. So Thok is 14. Okay. Let me just put him in my initiative order here. And the hobgoblin. So the 2 hobgoblins will have the same initiative as each other, and the 4 wargs will have the same initiative as each other for the purposes of this. So the wargs get a. They've got a +1, the wargs. So roll 20 +1. These are the wargs, so they get an 8. And the hobgoblins have a +2 to their roll. They also got an 8.
That's nice and convenient.
Okay, so all of the enemies will be going together. Thok has just gone, which means that Vlan gets to act next.
Right, I'm going to do a sneak attack with my bow because I'm not entirely sure which one to shoot at. I shall select the one on the left, whatever one is on my left.
And is that a hobgoblin or a warg?
Oh, it'd be a yeah. No, I'm shooting the hobgoblins, assuming that the hobgoblins are the ones who are telling the wargs what to do.
Right. Well, so how I imagine this is that you've seen Thok come out, you've seen him drumming, you see him point to one on the right, and so you go for the one on the left, knowing that the one on the right looks under some sort of influence from Thok.
Okay.
So you'll go to the one on the left that isn't affected by Thok's spell, and so roll your attack.
My attack is with a bow.
Now you are hidden, okay? Yeah. So I'm going to actually give you advantage on this roll.
So I get to roll twice, and I've got an attack bonus of 7. So I assume it's just a D20 and add my.
And add 7, yeah.
Right. Okay. Cool.
So and you'll just be doing it twice, and you take the best.
Okay. 1 moment.
What I should do while you're doing that is come over here.
So roll.
Add
D20 plus 7. Roll. First roll is 13, and roll. D20 7.
So I'm going to take off all of the in bars here.
There you go. Bingo. I shot between the eyes.
Now, so what's so for Corsair Quinn? What's your attack modifier for Corsair Quinn? Is that also +7? Jack? Gone quiet.
He's gone quiet. He's probably disappeared. There you go. Just a tick. He's posting.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. What was the question?
What is your attack bonus?
For my javelin.
Sure.
My attack modifier with javelins, I get. Just ain't where I just saw it. I get +5 when attacking with my javelin.
All right. Cool. I'm going to do this. All right. So what I'm doing here is I'm just going to make a quick macro. Okay. So down the bottom of your screens, just let me. Down the bottom of your screens, there should be now a +7 button and a +5 button. So just under your names. So if you press the +7 button, you'll roll a d20 +7. And anything that we seem to be rolling a lot that's not +7 or +5, we'll add to a macro so we can just press the button. Okay.
I'm looking for the macro. It hasn't appeared at the bottom of my screen.
It hasn't appeared. Let me make sure. So show as token action. Maybe I need to tick that.
Keep in mind that's my attack bonus with my javelins, my attack bonus with my rapier and my short sword. They're both different.
Right. So do you see them now? They should be just underneath the names, and they're just little white boxes with +7 and +5 in them.
No.
Nope. Okay.
Nope.
That's okay. It doesn't seem to be working. I just wanted to try and see. For some reason, they're not there.
It sounded rather cool thing to do. save my incompetence.
All right. So what I want you to both do for me is so in where the chat bar is there on the left-hand side, there's tabs up the top. There's chat, art, journal. Do you guys see the collection tab?
Yes.
So if you can go to the collection tab for me, and there should be a thing saying show macro quick bar.
Great.
If you can just tick that, then you should then see those buttons.
Perfect. Great.
Cool. And anyone that anytime that we're seeming to roll a number lots, I'll just add it to that real quick, because then we can just click the button each time.
Where is it? Click to edit. Okay, yep, I see.
Cool. I think it'll just save us a little bit of time rather than typing it in each time.
Could you add a +8 just for future reference?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll add a +8. Yeah. So roll d20 +8, and we'll do it for attack for damage rolls in a moment. +8. So I'm just going to put. I'll actually do that, but it hasn't. So I need it to click in bar. I need to change this one to 20 +7, and this one to 20 +7. So we're not getting confused. So yeah. So they're there.
I've ticked the under the macros dialog. I've ticked the icon that says in bar.
So show macro quick bar should be your
show. Well, yeah, and that's ticked as well.
Right.
So, but when I go back into the dialogue, it's still got as Mates and send at the bottom, and just the message dialog box. So there's nothing that seems to be appearing underneath that. So it might be at the top. I don't know. Let's have a look at the top. It's It sounds like a really cool idea. It's probably just not appearing. It's not appearing on my screen.
Okay. We'll just type it then. That's okay.
Okay, that's all right.
So, but we've got that check that's just the 26. What was that for? I'm just trying to remember now.
That was my second
attack roll. Well, obviously that's a hit.
Just a quick GM question. How many attacks do I get with my short bow in a given turn? Is it just one?
So your character right now just has the one. The only person with a multiple attack currently is Corsair Quinn. Because barbarians get it at level 5, whereas most characters get it at level 6.
No problem. Okay, so I've skewered it.
Yes, so it's a D6 for a short bow, and it will be adding your.
Is it 3d6 for a sneak attack?
Yep. So you'll be rolling / roll 4d6 and plus 4.
Okay.
For your deck. Plus 4 for your decks. Yeah.
4d6 plus 4. Okay.
Okay. You deal 13 damage to him.
What a fail.
That's okay. Hey, look, it's better than just 1d6 where you would have rolled a total of 5. So you've got that extra there. So that's good. So that's your attack. Did you want to try and hide after you make that shot?
Yes, because I can. I have a bonus action.
You have the bonus action that enables you to hide as a rogue.
Yeah. So in order to remain hidden, in order to be able to perform a sneak attack next round.
All right. Well, I'll get you to roll that for me, and while you're doing that, we'll pass over to the next person. So,
I assume hide is stealth. Yeah.
Yes, correct. So, Jack, what would you like to do? What would Corsair Quinn like to do?
Both hobgoblins are on wargs, and one of them is about to attack his warg, right?
Correct. The one on the right is about to attack his warg, yes.
All right. So I'm going to huck my javelin from up in this tree that I'm hiding in at the warg on the left. And I can attack twice in my turn. That's an ability I have. So I'm going to huck one javelin at the warg on the left and another javelin at the hobgoblin on the left.
Okay. No worries. You can roll those for me. So 21 will hit, which will be against the warg. 15 will not hit the hobgoblin, I'm afraid.
Okay. So what damage do I roll for? Oh, let me check. I have it right here.
It should be a D6 for the javelin. And it'll be +4. And it will be plus... you're not raging, so just D6 plus 4.
Yeah, I should have said I was raging.
We can say that you're raging, if you like.
Yeah, I'd like to be in a rage.
Throw. Yeah, cool. So you start raging. So it is D6 plus 6 then, because you are raging.
I am bloody maggots!
So there's a javelin sticking out of that left-hand side warg. I'm going to number them for you because there's 4 of them. That will be number 1. The other one on the left will be number 2. The number 3 will be on the right-hand side, and number 4 will be the one that the hobgoblin's about to attack. That's his one, number 4. So number 1 and number 4 are the ones that are being ridden, so that they're kind of on opposite sides. So it's trying to make it easier to remember for you. We've all gone. It is their turn. The captains will
Dismember his own mount.
Yeah, so he's going to make his greatsword attack. All right, so he's got +4 to his hit roll, and he makes 2 greatsword attacks on his turn. So D20 +4.
I've now got this rather bizarre image of this guy holding a 6-foot sword in 2 hands whilst riding a warg. Yeah.
So he hits twice, and he does deal an extra. It hits with a weapon attack if that creature is within 5 feet of an ally. So he's going to deal another. So he's going to deal 2d6 per hit. So roll. So it's going to be 4d6 +4 plus, and then there's going to be another additional 3d6 because he's got martial advantage. So it's going to be 7d6.
Jesus.
Sweet Jesus.
So he does 27 damage to his own mount, killing it.
Okay. I shall retreat to minimum safe distance. The other side of the
Seeing
mountain.
how much damage he just did, that's probably a wise plan. All right, the other hobgoblin will ride his mount towards Thok. So he's going to get into engagement with Thok, and he's also going to make 2 attacks with his greatsword against Thok. 4. Roll d20 +4. So these are its 2 attacks. The 13 I don't think will hit. Let me double check that, make sure I'm doing the right thing. No, it definitely won't hit, but the other one will. And he gets, because he's got an ally there, so he gets his 3d6 from that, and he gets his 2d6 from his normal weapon. He's going to deal 5d6 +2, and that will be a total of 12 damage to Thok.
Wow.
All right, so that will be 26 we're down to. And then the wargs will then get to attack. The one that is on Thok will try to attack him with a bite. D20 +5. Will definitely fail. The other 2 that are still alive will run in. You're hiding. Thok's out in the open, and also Corsair's out in the open. The 2
I'm
remaining
in a tree throwing javelins.
Yeah, they're going to run up to you, the wargs, both of them. They've got a speed of 50 feet. They can actually close that distance easily to you. So both these wargs will attack you. So we've got roll d20 +5, roll d20 +5. And that will be a hit. And does 15 hit your armor class?
My armor class is 16, so
Nice.
no, it's just
so
barely
one hit from the warg, which will do. And I need you, please, to make me a strength saving throw.
Okay, I believe as a stout halfling, I get. Oh no, I don't get resilience on this. Never mind.
No, but you are raging, and it is a strength saving throw, so you get advantage on it because you are raging.
Oh, nice, nice.
Oops, I'll have to roll an additional d6. Apologies. So it'll do 12 points of damage to you, and with a 16, you pass the strength saving throw, and you are not knocked prone, because these things have that ability to be able to knock people prone. So you take 12 damage, but are not knocked prone.
Are you up a tree? Are you up a tree?
He was behind a tree.
Oh, right. Okay.
And even if he was up a tree, these wargs are large and they have quite some reach on them.
Yeah, no, it wasn't so much that. It's just you probably knocked it out of a tree, which would probably be unpleasant as well.
It possibly would be, but in this case, we don't need to do that. So we've done all of the enemies. We can see that it's obviously quite a fight with these people. We've got Thok first up. Thok, seeing that he did pretty good work with the one over there, which will also, I think, need to make a second saving throw. Let me double check that. Whenever the affected creature chooses another target, if the enemy provokes, is able to. Each time the target takes damage, it can repeat its saving throw. Okay, as long as Thok is concentrating, which he now has to roll for, because I didn't realize I was concentrating. We have to roll to concentrate on that spell. And we have on that a +5. And he's taken too much damage, I think. Yep, so he's not going to be able to pass that. So the enemy, the warlord that was affected by Thok's spell is no longer affected by Thok's spell anymore, because Thok couldn't concentrate on his spell after being hit by that massive blow. So he will, let's see what other spells Thok has that he could possibly cast to help out this situation. He can enhance ability, so that's what he's gonna do. He's gonna cast enhance ability, and he's gonna cast that on Corsair Quinn. All right.
Oh, well, also, quick note, something I forgot to mention. I forgot my storm ability, which comes into effect when I rage. But
excellent. Yep. We'll have that in a moment. Just let me look up enhance ability. All right. So we can give you some extra hit points. We can give you, you've already got advantage on your strength check, so that's not going to be helpful. Actually, you know what? Actually, because you've already got your advantage on your strength checks, what Thok's instead going to do, he's going to come and find the hiding person, and he's going to give you advantage on your dex checks, your dexterity checks. So any dexterity checks that you do, Matt, with your rogue will have advantage. So that will be pretty good. And that is going. So, and does he have to concentrate on this as well? He does. All right. So he's moved up to you. He's given you that, and he is going to, so he's moved and he's cast a spell. Pretty much all he can do. All right. It is what it is. Concentration and bards. But yeah, so yeah, he's thrumming on his drum, and while he's doing that, you have that. So that's his turn, and then we have Corsair Quinn. Is it? No, it's sorry, it is see there. So our roguish rogue with advantage now.
Vlan will looking disgusted himself at the rather poor shot that he made last time, and because that hobgoblin is still moving around, I'm going to make sure that hobgoblin stops moving around by putting another arrow in it.
Excellent.
So, but as the magic settles on my hands, I soon realise that this will be a simple task. I hope. So I shall roll to assume I have advantage.
You don't need advantage because you are the type of rogue that you are. You're a swashbuckler rogue. You don't actually need advantage to get your sneak attack.
All right. Oh, cool. An 18. Haha.
Excellent.
And
You will definitely hit.
haha.
And you'll do all of the damage.
So it's 4d6 plus 4. Let's try actually putting the right format of stuff in.
That's okay. What I might do.
4d6 plus 4.
So.
Oh, hang on. Hang on a minute.
It's not D4, D6.
No, I know. I'm just being incompetent.
It's okay.
4.
If I had had a little bit more time, I would have had all of the character sheets, so we could have just pressed it. 20.
Oh, that's better.
All right. So you describe how you bring this hobgoblin down.
Okay, so citing with much more confidence, I see the chink in the armor just below his helmet, and between his helmet and the top of his neck guard, and I think that pimple there needs a bit expunging, and I let my arrow fly, and it kind of arcs beautifully right down into him, and the hobgoblin sort of rides on, pulling his sword out, then realizes he's got this impediment in his head, and then looks quizzically at his sword, looks quizzically at the warg, and then slowly slides to the left.
And the warg that he is on, you see straight away that the warg that he is on, because he was riding it and keeping it in control, the warg that he is on is no longer under his control, and because of it has a chance of going feral, it does not pass his save, and so it will also have the effect of the other spell where it's just going to attack whoever's closest. That particular warg. So that's warg number 1 is going to attack whoever's closest to it, because it's it's driven into a frenzy with its rider dying. Okay.
Excellent. I shall briefly blow on my fingertips.
Excellent.
As I pull out another arrow.
Now, did you want to try and hide again with another bonus action?
Oh yes, please.
Cool.
You ain't seen me, right? So that's.
This time though, so you would have disadvantage because you've shot twice successfully, but because you've got advantage on dex checks, that means that they cancel out, and whatever you roll will be, you don't need advantage or disadvantage because they cancel out. So it'll just be a flat roll.
Plus my stealth, yeah.
Plus your stealth, yes.
11.
Okay. Well, we don't know how that's going to go just yet, but that's your check. And we'll go now over to Corsair Quinn.
So, I'm in this rage. I have an effect where I can target an opponent, and they got to roll. The DC is 14. If they fail, they take 1d6 of damage. If they succeed, they take half that damage. And the target I am going to select is the warg that had made the bad decision of biting me.
All right, so it's going to be either 2 or 3. You can decide which.
I'm gonna go with org number 2.
Org number 2. So he rolls, and what sort of save is it?
Let me check. Just to make sure I'm correct here.
Probably look it up. Storm.
If your aura's effect.
So it's 14 is the saving throw.
Yeah, it's the DC, and they have to roll a dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity saving throw. Okay, so back to this screen, and the dexterity is going to be 1 and 13.
Oh yeah.
So you get him
For 2 damage.
That's all right. It's still damage, and it's going to be number 2. He's going to take that damage, and it's lightning, correct?
Yep. As Thunderstruck by AC/DC starts playing in the background, right on this board.
I love it. Yep, and then you've got your actions as well. So.
Yep. And because they're in melee range, I'm gonna take out my rapier, and I can attack twice. Is that beautiful ability? I am going to first stab warg number 2, or try to, the one I just struck with lightning. Let's see. This is that's 8. Let's roll. I got a 17. Is that enough to hit?
Absolutely.
Okay, let me see what damage I roll with this weapon.
So it should be a D8 plus 5, if I'm correct.
1d8 plus 6 currently. Oh, this is a plus 1 rapier, so plus 7 actually.
Yeah, I've given everyone
that's 12 damage on that.
All right. It is quite severely wounded at this point, but it is not dead.
All right, and I am going to. Well, you know what? I'm going to stab it again. This one that bit me. It's that I struck with lightning.
Bit of almost. It's not quite divine retribution. Rage retribution.
Yep. 15. Does that hit?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
And knowing, that's exactly enough to bring it down. So describe how it happens.
I was like, I'm thunderstruck. Right on the sporg as it stumbles in confusion from the lightning that just struck its paw. And then I step forward with my rapier. You're not so big now, are ya? And I just stab in, puncturing one lung and going through its back, and then ripping out and just puncturing the other and ripping it out again. And it's not exactly dead yet. It's slowly dying, but it can't do anything. So it's virtually dead as it just lays there suffocating.
Nice. Okay. Gory. Love it. So what's going to happen now, because these guys are now down to half numbers, the hobgoblin captain will withdraw and will mount number 3, which will also withdraw, and and they all start riding away from us as we have whittled them down to half numbers, and they're not willing to die like their compatriots. And so if you want to, you may choose to make an attack of opportunity as they try and get away. If you don't want to and you want to just let them go, that is an option too. It is up to you what you do.
I would like to. I would like to throw a javelin at the weakest looking. Oh, there's only one hobgoblin, so I'd like to
There's
throw
one
a javelin.
hobgoblin. Yeah.
Okay, well, as soon as I see the enraged barbarian, because I was in half a mind to let him go, but since I see the enraged halfling ready another javelin, I go, beat ya.
Okay, and you are also going for that hobgoblin?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's the
Ah,
king.
14. Dang it.
Yeah, that's not quite enough to hit him as he gets away.
Do I get?
He saw you, so there's no advantage on this roll.
Okay.
And 16 isn't enough either. So the rapier and the arrow sort of clink against this guy's half plate armor, and he manages to ride off with the remaining two wargs, and we are now safe from their attacks.
Okay. I picked myself out of the bush that I was firing from. Calmly go over to see if I can collect my arrows that I fired, and then with great disdain kick over the body of the remaining hobgoblin to see if he's got anything interesting or useful that will tell me about this area, perhaps a map or
All right.
I'm not going to suggest he's got any food that I'd like to eat, but he might have some coin.
He's got he's got half plate on if you want that. He also has a great sword, and he has 5 javelins. So if the barbarian wants more javelins, he can have more javelins. In addition, yes. While there's not a map here, there is a piece of paper with some scroll on it. The scroll is kind of like, so some of it's kind of like been soiled, so it's kind of hard to read all of it. Whoa, turn that off. This scroll says, it says this. So these are the words that you get out of it. I'll just type them down. So
Oh, there you are.
do so. What it reads is gate, knight, joker, knave ?
Well, gate could be a portal of some description. Knight and joker and knave tend to be playing cards or descriptions of playing cards. So, okay. We need some more information there. I don't suppose he's got a deck of cards on him.
He doesn't, but on the top, as you sort of like looking at this piece of paper and looking through the rest of the stuff, you can just make out that there's some markings above each of the characters' names. So there's a couple of markings on top of the knight, and a couple on top of the joker, and a couple on top of the knave. And it looks like maybe they were keeping count of something.
Right. So maybe it's like the markings you get on the side of fighter jets. Like I've killed 3 knights, 2 jokers, and 1 knave.
Something like that, possibly. You're not unsure, but you've got these little markings. Yeah,
Yeah.
seems
Okay.
to be
Cool.
keeping count.
Right. Okay. So tallies. Right. Okay. If there's nothing else of interest on this hobgoblin,
They
I shall
have
mark.
little sacks of coins in as well.
Oh, okay, well that's a shame. I shall I shall divest. I'm absolutely shameless about robbing bodies, so I shall just count pile out the money and then divide it because I'm an honest person who doesn't
Okay.
want to get backstabbed by someone who thinks I'm being unfair, because I
So
want to stay
only
alive.
one hobgoblin got killed. So he will have 30 silver pieces on him, divided amongst the 3 of us, which will be 10 silver pieces each. Not a great fortune, but it is something.
Well, you get a good night's kip and a decent meal out of that. So hey, and maybe a woman of loose virtue who's cheap,
Indeed.
who's relatively cheap.
Okay.
I am going to really quick. I'm going to collect all my javelins back up, and also, do you give me the javelins you found on that hobgoblin?
Yeah, oh yeah. You can have all of those. I don't mind. I shall glance disdainfully at the armor, going. First of all, it looks absolutely disgusting, and I glance down at my beautiful suit of tailored studded leather armor with the studs on the inside, and I think, no, I'm going to stick with what I've got.
Excellent. So I know that you were going to be pulling some of your javelins out of the wargs, and so can I get you to roll a survival check as you're pulling your javelins out of those wargs, please?
Yep. Let's see how poorly I do.
Mm-hmm.
This is where we discover that they're undead vampire wargs, and you're just taking wooden stakes.
Oh, not one! I shouldn't have said. I break all these javelins.
No. You recover the javelins, but there was
And-
another piece of information that you absolutely do not find.
All right.
Okay. Okay. So I am. After that, I think I will. Because this warg, as much as it angered me, it fought bravely. I'm gonna do it the honor of using some of its blood as mustache wax, because my
Nice.
mustache did get kind of messed up during the fight. So I
Very
fix
cool.
that.
Excellent.
My eyebrow shoots up and then down again. That's my only reaction to this rather odd behaviour.
Hey,
And
a half elf like you may not care much for looking pretty or keeping well groomed, but among us halflings, it's very important.
oh no! I wouldn't want to sully my parenthood with any humans. I'm completely full-blooded elf.
Oh,
I am.
full elf! I'm sorry. Truly, that was an insult. I think we can all agree there ain't nothing so bad as humans. And I kind of look over at the half orc, just kind of like, I quickly look over at him and I kind of wink at him, just like jokingly.
Nice.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. We'll be after making good of this situation. The last thing we need to do is to remain here for too long. Obviously, there are patrols of these warg riders around, so we've got to keep an eye out for them. So, but fortunately, they're rather good at announcing themselves from some distance with howls. So they're not very good scouts. The sort of scouts that want to avoid being dealt with.
Indeed. So yeah, now knowing that these things might be around, you are extra cautious on the last leg of the trip up to the foot of the mountains, and you start to ascend into the actual mountains themselves.
Okay.
You know, it's probably going to take you another probably 3 to 4 hours to get to the X, but we are now up in the heights, or ascending up into the heights, and it's just going to get higher and higher as we go. Is there anything that you guys want to do as we're going up? And do we want to take a 2-minute break for bios or drinks or anything? If you guys don't need that, that's okay. But if you would like to, we can do that.
Okay, well, we'll have stopped at some stage for some victuals and replenishing our water.
Indeed.
And I shall ensure. I mean, look, I shall also view the mountains. As in, does it look like they're snow-capped?
They are not. Not these particular ones. The ones further up to the north look like they would be, but these particular ones are not.
Okay, does that look like we're going through a path? Is there an actual path that we're following?
There is a worn path, yes.
Okay, we'll be extra cautious. I mean, if it's just a stream bed, I wouldn't be so worried. But the fact is that this is a well-traveled path.
Well, so leading up to the mountain, there isn't a path, but once you get to the actual mountain, then there is a worn path. Like you can make some checks surrounding that if you would like. So it would be, let's see.
Perception or survival?
Yeah, you can choose which. I don't mind. So whatever is better for you.
I shall go with perception, please.
Absolutely. Cool. 13.
So keeping wary.
Actually, can I help him and give him advantage on that perception roll?
Yeah, you can roll again.
I'm helping you out.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, 13 it is.
I'm not helpful at all. Is that John? I think that better be a rock.
Yes, I think that's a rock there. Yeah.
And I thought, like, that's a tree. Yes. So what you find out with that 13 in total, so the passage is quite broad. It's much broader than you would consider normal humans making, or humanoids making, and it seems to be the dirt, the packed dirt that sort of etches this path out, seems to be rolled hard, like as if like a giant boulder was rolled down it, to sort of soften it all out, or to even it all out with a giant boulder. So what you're sort of getting from this is maybe there's like rather large creatures, maybe Goliaths, maybe even giants, that roll boulders down these mountains, creating pathways to travel on.
Right. Okay. So nothing to do with tracks. No wagon tracks.
There are no tracks whatsoever.
Okay.
Well, that you can find.
Yeah. So this worn path, is it? Does it look like it's been recently leveled, or has it been leveled some time ago? I.e., is there grass growing through it?
So with a 13, you know, there's some doubt. However, what you can tell with a 13 is it does not look like there's been recent passage.
Okay. All right. We shall proceed with caution, I think, and keeping our again. I shall travel ahead of the party if that's acceptable.
It is certainly acceptable.
And keep my eyes and ears open.
All right. Well, I don't need a check from you. So as we're ascending, we keep on keeping that eye out, knowing sort of what might be ahead. You're sort of keeping an extra eye on, you know, the mountain peaks and things like that, and giant rolling boulders. And And yeah, you will see as we sort of turn around a curve in this path, off in the distance, not any danger to us, but off into the distance, you do see this giant who is basically got this giant boulder and is rolling the boulder down a mountain, creating another path off in the distance. But he's no danger to you where he is. You just see him down there doing his thing.
What type of... am I aware of different types of giant, or is this the first time I've ever seen a giant?
That is totally up to you. You're
127 years old.
Yes, you've probably seen a giant. Yes. So this you would be able to know. This particular giant that you're seeing isn't very large. It isn't very like super strong, and from that you're picking up that it's probably a hill giant.
Okay, so good sort of 9 foot, 8 foot tall.
Yeah, it's not your
so
sort of storm giant or anything crazy like that.
I
mean, hill
I
giants are
think-
dangerous enough, but
I think this is like legitimately a god, considering how big it is to me.
I when I see it, I sneak back to the party, and I say about 2. Well, I estimate a difference in the distance. Say there's what appears to be a hill giant by yonder. I think we could probably pass it without disturbing it.
A hill giant must be at least 6 feet tall.
Well, I'm at least 6 feet tall.
As I realize this, my eyes widen. You're a hill giant?
No. Otherwise, everyone would be hill giants.
I look
Anyway.
very confused. I look over at Rick.
So the giant looks about 25 feet tall.
Oh, looks about 25. That's massive.
God.
All right, okay. Yeah. Or he could be a lot closer than we imagine because of perspective.
It could be, but so you're able to take in the perspective thing, and with perspective, if you were close up, he would be around 25 feet tall.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, I think we'll classify that as something to be avoided.
You think?
To clarify, Quinn is 3'5", so this is just he can't even comprehend this. 25 feet.
It's like, how many times would I have to climb to get on top of him?
No. What to gauge 25 feet? What you need to do is lie on the ground, and then lie on the ground again, and then lie on the ground again. Do that 8 times, and that would be the height of your giant. So
Yeah,
basically, you
and
better
it's
run between his legs without any problem at all.
7 of your relatives, shoulder to feet, feet on shoulders. Anyway, so yeah, we see that, and we tactfully avoid the giant.
Yes, please. Thank you very much.
No worries. And
I
something
shed a
that-
single tear at the beauty of this creature.
yeah.
So humongous.
And just as a by the by, Corsair Quinn, could you roll me a perception check too, as we're looking down here and as you're seeing this beautiful creature?
Yep.
$11. Yeah, no, you don't see anything extra with that. So we move on.
So
cool.
we're going to see, which as we mount the mountains, I'll be interested to note what actually X means.
Indeed.
Whether it's just what is X?
Yes, we don't know. It could be A plus b squared or something like that. So we make our way down and or make our way up, and the path curves and twists a number of times, and after about 2.5 hours, you come to a giant hole sort of in the rock, and it's big, wide open hole, and it sort of leads into darkness. There's no way, there's no other path that sort of leads up and around or down and around. The path basically leads just straight up to this giant cave hole, I suppose, in the rock.
Okay, does that look like where the X looks like?
It looks like we're pretty much there, within
Right, okay.
within earshot.
Okay, right. I shall have a sniff down the hole.
Okay, so you don't even need a check. So it does not smell like giants at all. In fact, the smell that you're getting from down there is sulfurous.
Nice. I glance around for volcanoes.
There is no sign of volcanoes.
Okay. Okay, well that's the simple explanation. The next explanation is,
And it's not actually hot, so you can smell sulfur, but
basically it smells like bad eggs.
hmm.
Yeah, nice.
Little
That's
bit of
very
brimstone, perhaps, but it's not especially. Maybe the temperature's shifted just a little bit higher than outside, but it's not really that noticeable. It's just a couple of degrees. It's like going from. It's just a couple of degrees.
Okay, glancing at my compatriots, reasoning, and swiftly realizing we don't have any blind humans with us, who needs torches? I'll say, well, I'll take a look. You guys hang back here. I'll just take a quick look down, and then we can. In fact, I'm wondering whether we all ought to go together. I think we should all go together.
Arr.
And we'll,
I say we all go together.
Yeah.
After all, we wouldn't want any one single one of us sneaking off with the treasure.
Indeed, we be sharing it equally.
I thought we're after a cure, says the high elf.
Well, yeah, the cure and the treasure.
Well, they're bound to be treasure with a cure.
Yeah, no, I'm not that gullible. I think the treasure will be getting out of here alive.
Nay, the treasure is our friendship.
All right, so you make your
and
way
wealth
down.
We'll make telling these stories and.
Make your way down the cavern.
Okay, I'm going to draw my rapier, because it's magical. I assume it ignites with a slightly soft glow.
It can, for sure. Yes, you can have a soft glow. I don't mind.
Okay. And,
cool. Yeah, you've got a soft glow rapier as you're traveling down this twisting and turning passageway into the darkness, until the passage opens up into quite a large room. Actually, this room is or cavern. It's about 50 feet, but it's in a circle. And in the middle of the circle, there are 3 archways. And each of the archways the archways are made of black fiery stone that is actually burning as you are watching it, or the embers are glowing at least. And each of the archways has it's like a curtain almost that's covering it, so that you can't see the space of the gateway itself. You can only see the frame of the gateway, which is the smoldering, glowing brimstone ash substance. And in front of each of those archways, a a creature stands. There are 3 creatures in total. Each of them is wearing a different hat. One is a Joker's hat. One is Knave's hat, and one is a Knight's hat. And they are each standing in front of one of these archways. And as you enter, you can tell that each of them has a long plaited beard, and each of them is covered in spines, black and red spines that cover almost their entire bodies.
Okay, so this is the gates and the knave, the Joker, and the knight, as referenced in the document.
Indeed.
And what we so this is and we were this whole thing was described as a test. So I would imagine we'd need to complete the test of each one of these. Because there are creatures guarding each of the entrances, I doubt whether they would just automatically attack people.
No, they're not going to attack people. Indeed, as you approach, it seems like they all speak in unison when they greet you. And they say, you have come to the Demon Gateway. To travel beyond, you must ascertain which gate is safe. You may ask 2 questions. One of us is telling the truth. One of us is not.
And what's the third one doing?
Just let me read my riddle here. So... Sorry, I'm reading my text here. Yes. The third is unreliable and sometimes tells the truth and sometimes tells a lie. You don't know who is who, but the guards or creatures do know who is who.
Okay, right. Do the questions that we have, are we allowed 2 questions to each creature or 2 questions in total? Since they all are answered in unison, it might be difficult to determine who's telling what.
Right. So basically, there are, how this works is they've all greeted you in unison, but the questions that you ask can be directed at any one of the 3. Each of you, each character will have 2 questions to ask. And at the end of that, if all 3 of us fail, then we've failed. But we have effectively 6 questions, but 2 questions each. And then that person is kind of eliminated if they can't figure it out, and we can work together if we need.
Right. I've got 2 questions. Great. I shall approach the first one.
Okay, we'll call them A, B, and C, or 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
And how this goes.
Right. I'm okay. I shall ask. I shall first of all make a statement. My name is. Hang on a minute. Let's see now. Here we go. Valan. My name is Valan. And I'll ask the first one. What is my name?
Okay. So
That's the question. So I've asked the first one, what is my name? I said, my name is Valan. What is my name?
all right.
So if he tells the truth, he'll say Valan. If he doesn't tell the truth, and I shall just ask that of each one until I find the one telling the truth.
Okay. Fair enough. That's pretty good reasoning, I feel. All right. So you've said my name is Len. What is my name? Okay. And I'm going to arrange them so that we've got Knight hat, Joker hat, and Knave hat.
Mm-hmm.
And you're asking the Knight hat because that's the one on the left. What is your name? And he says Valan.
Excellent. And the next one?
The Joker hat, he says Vasan.
Okay. And the final one?
Says Valan.
Okay. So it's the so A is the knight and said my name correctly. B is the
Joker.
knave.
B is the Joker and said your name incorrectly.
And the third one said my name and said it correctly.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So we know that A and C could be either one telling the truth.
Indeed.
All right.
And so Joker is definitely out as far as the one that's telling the truth, because he said it falsely.
Yeah. Okay.
So you've got one more question for yourself, and then
I think if we all repeat that set of questions, all three of us, we shall soon determine which one is telling the truth. Just one question each, yeah, because we've got one question for each one, haven't we? Sorry, 2 questions for each one. So that's 12 questions in total.
No, we've got 6 questions in total.
6 questions in total.
So each of us just has 2 questions, but amongst we have to pick and choose who we're asking. So yeah, there's only 6 questions. Yeah.
So we've used 3 of them.
So we've used one. We've used because you've asked all 3. I suppose so.
Okay, so we can either so we could actually
you could trick them perhaps, like
sorry.
Get me to roll a deception check, or to see whether, because how you asked it wasn't individually. How you asked it was as a group, and then you listen to their answers. So see if they don't realize that you've really asked them 3 questions.
Yeah. Okay. Deception. My deception skill is where are you? My deception skill is +8. Oh, that's quite
very good.
Let's see now. Let's come back here. Come back. Where are you?
So you need to beat a 4.
I got 17.
So they don't realize, and that's counted as 1 question.
Okay. I shall then repeat the question. I shall say, my name is. What is my name again?
Okay. All right.
Sorry, I did. I was thinking something like along lines. Sorry, I didn't hear you. What was my name?
All right. I'll get another deception check,
Mm-hmm.
and I will roll another. Wow.
That's even
Yep.
better.
Okay. So
Cool. Blimey.
each
I
of
would
the
say today your rolling, Matt, is dreadful. But quite handy.
okay, and all right, and I need you to roll me a perception check as you're hearing the answers, please, because they're all speaking at once.
Bingo.
Oh,
So the knight says Blan with a B.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The Joker says Gatan, and the knave says Vlan. So if you didn't get a natural 20, perhaps the knight and the knave would have both sounded very much similar, but they do not because you
don't
got
get
a
past.
natural
I tell you
20.
what, you don't get past these ears.
Right. So
Did I also-
we've asked two questions, and we have 4 questions left. So
Okay.
over to you then, Corsair Quinn.
all right. So I'm going to. So I imagine that Valan, you explain this to me.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I'll just say the knight's lying and the joker's lying, so it's the knave.
Oh, I thought the knight was the one who said Valan. Oh no, the knight said Balan.
That's
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
It was very
So-
tricky because he had to hear it through, but he did.
So I'm first going to, and I'm specifically listening to the knave because it's the one that.
Well, no, just
You can
ask
just
the question
ask
to
the knave.
Oh.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna just ask the knave then. I'm going to ask him. Now, my friend, tell me so I can tell me allies here which one of these here doors is safe.
Okay, which door is safe? And the knave says, it's my door.
All right, and my last question, is
Actually,
there any funny business ahead?
He says, there is nothing humorous ahead.
Aw, dang. I kind of, I get that halfling look on my face, like, you bastard.
Actually, to be honest, I thought the first question was really good because he might not have been in front of the. We might have just assumed that he was standing in front of the right door.
Well,
so I
so
think, that was really quite good.
Thok asks, which door is yours to the knave? And the knave says, my door is where the knight stands.
Ooh.
You see, very good. Right.
So I think,
I think
correct
we've
me if
determined-
I'm wrong, do we need Thok to ask another question or have we
Yeah.
got it?
He could ask
no.
where the
Actually,
knight
we could ask.
stands.
No. We know where the knight stands because he's got a hat on.
Oh, true. Okay.
Yeah. So that's not a problem.
Well, shall
good
we
news is-
ask the question, who is the knight, just to be
Oh,
sure?
yes. I'd say
Okay.
so.
Okay.
Point to
Thok
the knight.
asks. They fade out of view. We're now in just a 50-foot, almost spherical room, and in the very center of the room, there is an altar, and there are 2 ghosts behind the altar, or ghost-like creatures behind the altar, and they gesture to the altar, and they say, "Pay penance and your request shall be granted.
What form is your requirement of penance?
They say you have passed the test of the knight, the knave, and the joker. They say all you need to do is take a knee before the altar and accept our boon.
Okay.
Well, fuck, this looks like a job for you. I gesture for him to go to the altar and take a knee.
So he does so, and nothing really happens. You watch him. The creatures don't really move. They don't gesture or speak as he takes a knee. They just watch.
I suspect it'll have to be all of us.
I walk up and I very uncomfortably take a knee, considering I lose like a large portion of my already small height.
Okay.
Fair enough.
I shall take the knee between them, and say, I offer penance.
Very good.
I offer penance.
Okay, and the two creatures will float through the altar to you guys, and they will sort of make a gesture like this, and then
they level drain us.
they level drain us and kill us, and we're dead. They gesture, and then two giant smiles come onto their faces, and they say, "Fools! We are the ones that are responsible for the black spot. You will now die." And they reach out their ghostly hands, and they wail. So we need to make a Constitution saving throw, each of us.
Oh boy.
Constitution.
Now, before we make the check, I need us to please roll d6s to see if our bad fortune comes into play. You're good.
Oh boy.
Doc is good. You're good. Our misfortune does not come into play.
Okay.
That's my Constitution save, 15.
Okay. Very good.
Mine
Thok.
says bingo.
Thok has +2.
Oh no.
My sensitive ears have been wailed at.
Okay, for those people that failed, the DC was 13. If you failed,
I failed in style.
You drop to 0 hit points.
Oh
Okay.
god.
I shall relax calmly on the floor.
Thok and our poor rogue drop to the floor unconscious. What do you do?
My eyes widen as these ghosts scream, and the two fall unconscious, and I am not afraid. I am very brave, and I am furious. As much as I'd love to steal the treasure from these guys, as much as I dream about backstabbing them, they are my crewmates. And I've already lost. I've already been betrayed by one crew, so I'm not losing another. And sorry, not betrayed. My crewmates were already killed. I'm not losing another. And I say to the ghosts, "Aye, you bloody phantasms! What's the meaning of this? We followed your rules, and you lay me crewmates low. I challenge ye to take on physical mortal forms and fight me in a duel of blades. I'll take you both on." I'm standing up, pulling out my rapier and my short sword.
That would be a intimidation check, I believe.
I just metagaming for a moment. I am actually holding in my hand a glowing magical rapier.
Oh yeah,
Just like
I picked that up, so I'm holding my rapier and his rapier.
Just every advantage.
So, oh god, I get only a +0 to intimidate. Ooh.
But
I'm sorry.
16.
Hell yeah.
Nice. You
This-
succeed.
My
So
mustache is covered in blood. I got 2 rings.
okay.
Okay, I'm afraid to say the machismo of these two ghosts has gone down not just slightly, but an awful lot since a very, very short double
Right.
wafer wheeling nightmare has just cowed them.
So while I did not expect that, okay. So give me a second while I figure out what creatures they're going to come into, because that's not something that was in my list of things that could happen.
I did say blade to blade, so they probably gotta have some sort of sword, each of them.
Yeah. That's fine. We
Don't
still
worry,
have.
you can solo him, no problem.
So challenge 4. So I have to come up with something that's the same. I will actually, what I'll do, we'll halve the challenge because this is not something. Oh, that seems about right. Okay, so they're going to turn into ghasts instead of what they were.
Okay.
Okay. So they're corporeal now, which they weren't a second ago. They still pose quite a threat, but not nearly as much. So let me just put in all of these stats. I think that's fine. So do you want to roll me an initiative check then?
Yeah. And aren't Thok and aren't those two gonna be like rolling to stabilize or whatever?
Yes, we are.
Okay, sweet. Initiative is 12.
Okay. So Thok's initiative. Okay, it's +3.
I'm taking a rather relaxed. I'm taking a relaxed approach to this combat.
Indeed. And then the ghasts, what have become ghasts, they have +3 to their initiative. Wow. Who knew? 16. So they're going to go first by the looks of that. All right. So yeah, they take the corporeal form and
They do have swords, don't they? It's not a fair duel. I said blade to blade.
They do not have swords. No, they were incorporeal ghosts. They come back just with their claws and bite.
Okay. Oh, those count. Those count as blades.
Indeed, they do. So each one is going to make a melee claw attack with +5 to hit. Keep in mind that these are less difficult than what I had. So we got one that got a 16 and one that got a natural 1.
And Owen Defender wins, right?
No, 16 is your armor class or higher. So
okay.
They do manage to hit you with that particular attack.
Okay.
And it gets, and you're not raging yet? No, you'll have to start that on your turn. 2d6 plus 3. So 11 points of slashing damage.
Oof. Oh, good lord. That's a hard hit.
And what I need from you is a Constitution saving throw, please.
Okay.
Don't fail.
I'll try not to.
You're good.
24.
Hey.
So they've gone.
It's
And
the one that got a natural 1.
it misses. Yeah, so we had a 12. So I think you're next, Jack. Is that right?
Yep. Yeah, I believe I am. So the one that just slashed me for 11 points just probably slashed up my whole body. I'm gonna go into a rage.
Excellent.
So, as the sound of lightning in the background can be heard.
So they need a dex save.
Yep, against 14, the one who slashed me.
Okay, fails.
Ooh, yeah, let me roll that d6.
And we're going to call this number 1 for the purposes of keeping track.
Ooh, and 4 damage on that one as it gets shocked by some lightning.
Okay, it's taken some damage, and then you get to attack it twice.
Yep, I'm going to first stab it with my rapier, and then stab it with
His rapier.
the rapier. Yeah.
Excellent.
Flan's rapier.
Flan's rapier, yeah. Stabbing it with mine, I got a 16.
It's a hit.
Nice.
It's a hit.
Yeah, nice one.
And let me check my damage roll really quick. Yep,
So,
it is 1d8 plus 7 actually.
7, yeah.
Aha, 11 damage.
All right.
And then with
The second attack.
I believe I roll the same roll. I don't know if the damage is different.
The damage is different, yes.
Oh, the damage.
Natural 20.
So you're okay.
Natural 20 with Bland's glowing rapier.
I told you it's a lucky. I'm lucky. I'm a lucky character apart from that last bit.
So
I'm lucky up until the time when it counts.
So what you can do is 1 second while I just really quick check. What you can do, defense, rage, extra attack. Okay.
These ghosts didn't expect to be brutalized by a halfling.
So you can roll your damage dice twice
Okay.
with that.
And what's the damage for this?
So it'll be the same as what you just did. It'll be a
Okay.
D8 plus 7. And so, but it'll be 2D8 because of the crit.
Oh,
13. So, okay, you nearly bring this ghast down.
So yeah, as I whoosh, swing my rapier and then whoosh, like into its ghastly stomach or whatever with his, as it's
Okay, and I need Thok, and so Thok is a success for his saving throw. So that's 1 success. And I need one, please, from Vlan. So it's just a flat D20 from Vlan. Vlan? I think it's frozen. Looks like frozen.
might be the case, yeah. I think I just heard something from his mic.
I'll just type in Roll20. Perhaps he can see that. I'm not sure. Yeah, it does look like he's left. He'll be back in a second. Cool. Well, while that happens, and then it will be them again, won't it?
Yep.
Okay. I'll wait a second, because if he gets a natural 20, he'll get back up again, and I don't want to deny him the chance of possibly getting back up again, because that would be amazing.
Yeah.
So I'll wait just a sec. We've got 15 minutes or so we do have.
I can go later unless you've got something else. I don't have anything else I need.
Well, this is our ending. Combat anyway.
Okay. Yeah. I can't believe I cowered 2 ghosts into becoming corporeal with a character with +0 to intimidate. Mind you.
Hey, you rolled well.
I know it's awesome. It's just very surprising.
Cool. All right, I might just roll for them, and if he comes back, we will just interrupt whatever I'm doing with him. So, I mean, there he is. Welcome back. Not sure. It'll probably load properly in a minute. There you are. You're back with us. Maybe. Having some big issues there. Okay, that's fine. I will roll for them. And being that they don't really have another target, 5. Again, it's one hit. But this time you are raging. So, and they only deal slashing damage, and it is not magical. So you do have resistance versus that. So whatever this is halved, and so it'll be 5 damage. And then you will need another Constitution saving throw, please.
I'm just taking it like a man. If I fail this con saving throw, though, oof.
It's effectively the end of the combat if you fail the saving throw.
Oh.
You are fine. So yeah, you're up.
I'm gonna so
one of them's
run,
nearly dead.
I'm gonna strike the one who's nearly dead with lightning again, so it has to roll a saving throw against 14.
Okay. Roll d20 plus 3. He saved this time.
It succeeded. That means that the whatever damage I do is halved.
Okay.
So 2 damage.
Right, he's still up.
All right. So I'm going to stab him with my rapier, and I'm going to stab the other with the magical lucky rapier.
Okay.
Okay, so my rapier.
Yep.
24.
That's definitely a hit.
And I do 9 damage to him.
You definitely kill him.
Okay, and now on the next one. Oh.
You hit. 14.
Nice.
All right. Very good. Yeah, you're doing great, Guns here.
So I strike one with lightning and then stab it, wasting it. And then, while my rapier is still in it, I stab Vlan's rapier into the other one.
All right. So I thought got another success. I'm gonna roll for Vlan, who got a success and another success. So 2 successes for both, and we're back to the creatures. One of them's dead. Only one of them up will attack you because you're the only one there. Will hit for +3. 5, which is 2 points of damage.
Okay.
Because you are raging. And another Constitution saving throw.
Some point, I'm gonna fail one of these, and I'm frightened at which it'll be. Oh, not that one. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
You've got another round.
The sea god is with me. Oh my god. Even he fell for it. He thinks I'm a cleric. So yeah, I'm going to strike this guy with lightning, this one guy.
Yep. So another saving throw.
I'll roll that.
3. He succeeds.
Okay, so he takes 3 damage. And I'm gonna stab him with both rapiers. Plus 7 to hit on them.
That's a hit.
So 10 damage.
All right. That's a hit. And describe how you kill it.
So yeah, this one slashes me again, only for 2 damage. I am furious. A little bit of electricity shocks it, and it steps back, and it's already been stabbed once, and I turn to it, fury in my eyes, blood in my mustache. You should have run away when you had the chance, Ghosty. And I just whoosh, one my rapier, Vlan's rapier into its neck, and as it gasped for air, then whoosh, mine right through the chin, up through the skull, or whatever the skull of this gasp would be, as I waste it and rip both rapiers out.
Nice. The two ghosts peel off the ghast bodies and back into their ghostly existence, and they say, you have bested us in fair combat. Your comrades shall be returned to you, and the black spot shall be wiped from your existence. And then they disappear, and Thok and Vlan wake up, and the altar in the middle of the room breaks open, and you can see a pile of coins and gems flowing from the altar's broken form.
Ha-ha, mateys! Let's get about splitting this up equally atwixt the 3 of us. You 2 were down for a bit there, but you still helped earlier. We all couldn't have done this without each other, but ha-ha! I showed those ghosts who's the toughest halfling on the 7 seas now, didn't I?
Arr, I will remember this day. Your glory shines brighter than the sun. All right, and pretty much that will wrap us up for the Black Spot, this one shot as part of the Con Plus One fundraiser for charity. If you have been watching this, or if you're watching this now, please go on to conplus.live and donate, as we are all here trying to raise money for that charity. So it's a great cause, and I just thank my 2 players for coming and playing. It's been a blast. Hope you guys have had fun. Unfortunately, one of us has sort of had a few internet issues or whatever, but we got through it, and I'll finish off the broadcast now and have a chat with you after if you want. But it's been a pleasure, man.
Yeah, so we can keep talking. Praise the sea god.
Indeed. All right. Catch you guys. Stopping broadcast.